for the rest of the class to kind of look at. So,
okay.
anyways, so you just want me to talk about empirical rule?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was there anything on the practice test or homework or anything that you think of, or just?
Hold on.
That's okay.
Hello. Hold on. Okay, what you say now?
Was there a particular question off of something, or you just want to just?
Yeah, it was on the review. It was a question talking about empirical rule, and I didn't know how to answer it, so I just skipped over it.
Okay. Let me actually pull up your practice one. Let's see if I can find the exact question.
Okay.
And then I can actually do a screen share so we can take a look at it together. Any idea what number it was on?
I think it was towards the end. It had to have been like 20 something, probably
Okay.
25, 26 or something like that.
All right. I'm getting there. Oh, goodness. Okay. I'm almost running out of questions here. Let's see.
I think it was number 27.
Number 27 talks about the monthly return rate of a stock, find quartiles.
No, not that one.
Okay. Because the empirical rule itself is just referring to like a normal model, the 60, 67, 99, or sorry, 60, 67, 95, and 99%. I am not, okay. Let me take one more look. I'm not seeing anything specifically that says empirical rule. Not that you didn't see it, I'm sure you did. Oh, okay, here we go. I got it. I got you.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, let me. All right, I'm going to take a picture of this question, and then I'll do a screen share so we can kind of look at it together.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so you should see, well, it should look really weird. You should see my computer screen.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, so this was the question that you're talking about.
Yeah.
About the empirical rule.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I guess my first question to you is, when they talk about a bell-shaped distribution, do you know what they're referring to?
Yeah, when it's like a hump in the middle.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, so in this particular one, and let me see if I can just pull up a normal curve I can take a picture of. There we go. Yeah, that's good. Okay. This is a pretty typical of the empirical rule.
Okay.
And I'm just going to transfer that over to our little. Okay, so if I know a score over 2 observation, then I can make an estimate of what percent of the time I would see something like that. So what I do is I translate numbers 68 and 132 into comparable Z-scores. Z-score formula is observed, expected, divided by deviation. It would be, type in my here. Oh, that would be negative. Okay, so that's a z-score of -2.
Okay.
And then the other side is 132 minus 100 divided by 16. So it's got a z-score of 2. And so what that first question is asking you is what percent of the data, given the mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 16, would be between 2 z-scores below and 2 z-scores above the mean. And this is actually a little bit more helpful than I want it to be. That's not how I showed it to you. See if I can find like this picture here is typically what you would see. Okay. So if you can see here, if I go from -2 to 2, I've got 95% of my data that should be between those two observations.
Okay.
So in part A, that's what they're looking for. What percent should be between 68 and 132, and that would be about 95. So A, about 95%. Okay. Part B, so I'm going to do the same thing. I calculate the comparable z-score here. So it's 84 minus 100 divided by the standard deviation of 16. And so here we get a z-score of -1. And then when I do 116 minus 100 divided by 16, that gives me a z-score of 1. And so going like that picture I pulled up. So going between 1 standard deviation below and 1 standard deviation above, I would expect about 68% of the data to fall in that range.
68, okay.
Okay. So 8%. Oops. All right, and the last one, what would be greater than 128? I just need to calculate a comparable z-score per hit. Correct. So 148, 100 divided by 6. Three deviations above. Let me go this picture. You can have right above 3. I've got about 0.13% of the data that typically is above that. So about 0.1% of the data should be above 3 standard deviations above the mean. Okay, and so whatever question they give you, like they're going to give you this question on the test, and you have to translate those numbers into z-scores, and then look at sort of think about a standard normal curve. So like this, that's too much information. That's way too detailed, because here you've got like from 0 to 0.5 is 19.1%. Really just need this general information walking in. The 68, 95, and 99.7.
Okay.
That's about it.
So is the chart gonna look like this one on the test?
The chart is going to look like the formula chart. Let me go get it. So up the chart part. That first. And really the first chapter 2, chapter 3. All these here you get, and that's this little corner about the empirical rule. That's the only reference you get on the chart to that picture. Okay. So does that help you, Jessica?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna. Anything else you want me to talk about real quick? Otherwise, I'm gonna run to Deidre.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Actually, I think Deidre left. I think I got Teresa now. At least I can see that. So, Jessica, if you don't mind, would you mute your mic, and then if Teresa wants to... Oh, never mind. Did we just lose Teresa? Oh, no. Well, never mind. If people just keep showing up and leaving. Jessica, you want anything else you want to talk about?
Hold on. I'm still looking.
Okay. I can pull up your practice one and see if I saw anything interesting. All right, so empirical rule. Do you know how to calculate the mean and standard deviation of a table?
Yeah, that's the one that takes a long time.
Yeah, maybe. How good your calculator skills?
Not that good. I barely learned how to use it.
Yeah. What calculator are you using?
I have the TI 84 Plus.
Okay.
Silver.
I'm trying to think what. Okay, so if you. Okay, let me take a picture of this, and let me see if I can track down my calculator. Like I've got an on-screen one that I can show you.
Okay.
I kind of left it, like I showed some calculator skills, but I kind of left it open-ended, like you can do what you want with, I'm not really going to force you to type it in a particular way. All right, let me.
Am I the only one online?
I saw there was 2 others that jumped on, but right now it's just you.
Oh.
Well, sometimes they jump on and get nervous, like, oh, someone else is here. I don't want anyone else to know I have a question, but Sure, you got a test this week, so I'd ask me whatever you want. And I have not been getting a lot of emails. I mean, this has been like the best online class ever. I just go home and I think, man, everyone, I must have just made some really awesome videos because it just makes all sorts of sense. Which I know is not true. I know that statistics is really hard. Okay, so we're going to try this, and hopefully it doesn't get glitchy on me. It's really annoying. Okay, so let me share my screen again. Okay, so here is a typical question you would see.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and all right, so you're given basically histogram data.
Okay.
And you know the mean and standard deviation of this. Okay, so what I would do is I would go to my stat list, and I'm going to type some numbers into list 1 and list 2. And list 1 is, I'm going to type the midpoints of those intervals. So, like, be really lame about this. 0 plus 9, which I know is 9, divided by 2. And then I would 10 plus 19 divided by 2. So the calculator's telling me the midpoints the whole time.
Okay.
Now I'm doing this. So I'm doing parentheses plus the number divided by 2. Right? Let me do one more of these. And I want to. Isn't that exciting to watch? But all right. So type in that divided by 2. Okay. So then the other thing I need to know are how many of my total observations there are. So 34, 32, 17, and 10. So I just need to quickly add that up. So if I go to the home screen, I can just get a sense as to how many observations there are in between that range. Plus 10. All right, so I got 93 numbers that I'm staring at. I'm going to go back to edit. And there are 34 divided by the 93. And so that gives percent that of my observations that are 4.5. And then 30 divided by 93, 17 divided by 93, and 10 divided by 93. Okay, so what I've got then, list 1 are the midpoints of those intervals, and list 2 are the frequency intervals.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go to one stats. Calc 1 stats. And I'll tell it to go to list for the mid, and I have to include list the frequency. So as long as it says list 1, list 2, then I'll hit calculate, and it will do everything for me.
Oh, wow.
The mean of that data set would be 14.8, and the standard deviation would be 9.89. And that's all you have to do.
Okay, I've been doing it the long way.
And when you first learn it, I mean, that helps. But you know, there's we've used one var stats to find the mean and standard deviation from a list of numbers. So the only difference here is you have to tell the calculator to look at list 2 for the frequency. So as long as you tell it to look at list 2, then it will generate the mean and standard deviation of the frequency data. Okay.
All right.
Go back here. Let me look and see. Anything you found while you were looking around?
Let me see. Hold on.
I got a variation on this. Your practice list, number 24, talks about a weighted mean.
Okay, how can I?
Hey, we got Carolina to join us. Hi, Carolina. Or not. Jessica, I'm going to go, if you don't mind, I'm going to go through that weighted mean one. Using a calculator.
Okay.
Okay. And Carolina, mute your mic for right now. And then when I get done answering this one, I will jump over to you. Or maybe we'll see. All right, so here's the question. You put a student that's percentage. So attendance is 15%, quizzes are 15, exams 50, and the final exam 20, and then she's got individual grades. And so the question is, what's her average going to be for the class, knowing all this information? Well, oddly enough, it's the same skill we just looked at with the frequencies. So let me go back and clear up my list 1 and list 2.
No.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
I can scroll that over. Okay, so I'm going to, she got 100% for attendance. And the attendance only counts as 15%. So in the frequency column, I'm just going to put a 0.15. She got an 89 on her quizzes. And then in the frequency column, quizzes only count as 15%, so that's going to get 0.15. And then she got an 86 on her tests. And then under frequency, that exams are, what, 50% of her grade? So she's going to get a 0.5 for that.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, okay.
If you don't mind muting your mic, as soon as I get done helping Jessica, I'll jump over and help work whatever question you want.
Okay.
Sorry. You're welcome to watch, though. It's very exciting. Anyways, Jessica, then the last one for final, she got an 81% on it. And then the final counts as, oh, I covered it up. The final counts 20%. And so the grade, the frequency. And just like the last time, I'm going to go to one var stats. And I'm just going to tell the calculator to look at list 1 and list 2 for the frequency.
Oh, okay. You put list 2.
I'll hit calculate, and it'll tell me what her average.
Oh, okay. So you put list 1 and list 2 in there for the frequency.
Yes.
Okay, that's what it is.
Data, you have to tell the calculator you want it to look at list 2. If you don't tell the calculator to look at list 2, it won't do it.
Okay.
Got to be an intentional thing.
Is the review just like the test?
I am very lazy, and yes.
Oh, great.
So you should not see any surprises on the test. You know, might look at it and go, oh, we took that one instead of this one. Yay! But I was very helpful with you.
Okay.
All right. So, run over. Yes, Carol was next.
Okay, I'll mute my mic.
All right, thank you, Jessica. And if you have any questions, you type them in. I'm just kind of asking whoever shows up.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right, Caroline, if you want to turn your mic on.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. Is there, like, did you send us a review?
If you look on my math lab, the only thing, well, a long time ago at the start of the semester, I put reviews for all 4 tests and the final. So if you look at the exam 1 practice test, that's basically the same as the test that you're going to take in the testing center.
Oh, okay.
And I am not creative at all, so it's the exact same types of questions. The computer is going to change the numbers for you, but it's the exact same skills.
Okay. Okay, well, right now I don't have a question just yet then.
Okay. If you can think of anything, type it in. Otherwise, I'm just going by who showed up next. So if you don't mind muting your mic, and then Deidre.
Really quick, I'm sorry, I do have, how many questions is the test?
Yeah, 20 and 25. I don't remember.
Okay. Okay then, thank you.
Yeah, but if you look at the practice tests, it's the exact same number of questions.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh. All right, Deidre, you have anything I can help with? Your mic is muted, Deidre. Sorry, I can see you talk. I just can't hear anything. Okay, now I can just see more of you, but I still can't. Let's see. Can I unmute your mic? I know I can mute you. I just can't unmute you. So that's something you're gonna have to do on your end. If you look up top of the screen, you should see.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Welcome to the party.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Like I was saying, you may have already helped someone with this one. I'm not sure because I was doing the review, and I think it was like number 22.
The empirical rule.
Oh my God! Yeah, I can't. I'm not getting it.
Okay. Well, if Jessica doesn't mind, I'm going to go back to the one I had. That's fine. I can walk us through that. I'm going to share my screen. So it's going to change. And number 22 should look about like this. You might have had different numbers in there, but it should have said something like this, where you have a mean and a standard deviation, and it asks you what percent is between 2 values.
Yes, I think it was something 100 and oh God.
Well, this is the same question.
16.
Yeah, 116.
Okay.
Okay, so what you have to do, what it's asking about as far as the empirical rule goes, that's referring back to the normal model, or that 68, 95, and 99.7 rule. Let me see if I can pull up a nice, pretty picture. I had one earlier. There we go. So it's asking you to think about this picture. So this is what the empirical rule is referring to. Okay. And so what you have to do, you have to take each of these numbers, these 68 and the 132, and you need to translate that into a z-score. So the z-score is the observed minus the expected divided by the standard deviation. So in this case, 68 minus 100 divided by 16. And that gives you a z-score of -2. And then the 132 minus 100 divided by 16 equals 2. And then you want to go back to the picture, and it's asking you what percent of your observations are within 2 standard deviations away from the mean. So in this case, you have about 95.4, so about 95% of your observations would fit between those 2 values. So that's that first answer, is about 95%.
Mm-hmm.
The second part, between, less than 84 and greater than 116. Oh, I think I misread that, Jessica. So less than 84, so you still need to translate that into a z-score. So if I go 84, get away from my picture. So if I go 84 minus 100 divided by 16 and 116 minus 100 divided by 16, I get a z-score of -1 and +1. So if I go back to that picture, it's asking, and this is where I misinterpreted earlier, it's asking what percent is below that and what percent is above that. So if between is between -1 and 1 is about 68%, then I really want to do 1 minus that. So if I just go to a calculator and just 1 minus 0.68, so really about 32% would be less than 1 standard deviation or bigger than 1 standard deviation. About 32% there. Okay, so that, yeah, I did mess up on that one. And then the last one, part C, is saying what percent are greater than 148. So I want to find a z-score for that. So 148 minus 100 divided by 16, and I get a z-score of about 3. So if I go back to my empirical rule chart, I can see that above 3 is about 0.1%. And so that's the answer to that question, is that about 0.1% would be greater than 148. Okay? And I think just to kind of remind you, so when you show up to the testing center, I turned in this formula chart, and on the formula chart, this is about the only reference you get to the empirical rule, is that at 68 lies within 1 standard deviation, 95% lie within 2, and 99.7 lie within 3. So you're going to have to connect that information to this pretty picture here, just to remember what percent falls within a different range.
Okay.
All right. Does that help?
It helps some. Because the kept going in and out, so I may be able to figure it out. At least I have some information, because before I was totally in the dark.
Right. Well, you know, like I said, I wanted to have some way for you guys to ask me stuff. Let me jump back up. Looks like Carolina has a question. Let me jump back over here. All right. Anything else I can help with, Deidre, or like, do you have any other questions off the top of your head, or?
Okay, not right now. No, I want to play with that problem.
Okay. All right. If you don't, and I'm not being rude, so I apologize. If you don't mind muting your mic, and then I'll have Carolina unmute it.
Okay. I can figure out how to do this again.
I'll be up. I can actually mute you. I just can't unmute you. So I took care of you. All right, Carolina, you're up.
I wanted to know, so for the test, do we have to go to the testing center, or we can do it online at home?
All tests have to be proctored. So you have to go to at least some testing center to take the exam, just so somebody can stand over your shoulder and make sure that you didn't do anything inappropriate. But
Oh,
that's a math department standard that all exams are proctored.
okay. So the one that you said right now here that's in the homework, like on the my math lab, though it says their exam one. That's just a practice one that we can do, or is that the actual exam?
Let me
Because I
go.
was looking at, well, I saw the review, how you told me to go look for the review, and I saw the review, but I also saw that underneath it says exam. So that's why I was asking, like, if we had to go to the testing center or we can do it online at home.
There's a very clever on my part. There's a password that's blocking you from actually opening the exam. So you can click on it. It's not going to open for you.
Oh, okay.
The only thing that you can open right now are the reviews.
Okay, I was just wondering then, yeah, because I saw that it was right there, but I didn't click on it.
No, like I said, it's password protected, so you can click on it to your heart's content. Nothing will happen. So you're not going to break anything. But just in general, y'all can work ahead. Like, if not that anyone would ever do this, but you could take the final tomorrow if you wanted to. Don't suggest that as a plan, but
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything else or?
No, that's it. Thank you for right now. For right now, that's it. Thank you.
All right. If you don't mind muting yourself, or here I'll be a jerk and I'll do it for you. All right, done. So at this point, I'm just going to open it up. So Teresa, Jessica, Deidre, anyone got questions? Deidre, you're muted still. Oh, Jessica. Okay, Jessica figured out how to mute herself.
Hold on.
Deidre's still talking at me. That's okay, Deidre.
Okay, is one of the lowest test grades going to be dropped?
I'm going to. So the final counts as its own, but if the final is higher than your lowest test grade, then I'll swap out the final for that.
Okay.
So not that anyone's going to make a 50, but let's say you make a 50 on this test, but on the final you made a 70, then I'll put a 70 in for test 1.
Can you pass the class if you fail all the tests?
You would, like, when we say fail, we're probably saying like a 59 fail.
Or can you make like a C?
Can you make a C if? I mean, if all your tests are like 68s and everything else is good, then you'd be fine. But
okay. Well, there's hope.
But why you do no you haven't taken the test yet. Have hope. Have hope. And I'm trying to be helpful here. I'm trying to answer questions. But like I said, everyone seems to get everything they need out of my videos. So, and you guys are always if you see any problems with the videos or anything comes up, please email me. I love statistics, and I will talk about this too long. But no, y'all don't ask me anything, so I don't never get the chance to talk.
Okay.
And Deidre, that your mic is still muted, but I can see you point to a calculator. Okay, go up top of the screen. There's a little microphone icon. Just click on that microphone icon. Right now your mic is red. If you click on it, it'll go it'll change. You're just putting your thumb in the camera now.
Okay, because it's sort of, well, you know what? Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, because it popped up at the bottom.
Oh.
I was trying to get you on my computer, but it couldn't, and but I was able to get you on the phone. So, who knows? But you know what? I don't know how I did it. I deleted one of my lists. The L1.
Reset your memory. The
Okay.
easiest way to do it is if you turn your calculator around, there's a little tiny button that if you insert like a paper clip in, like go to the back where your battery is.
Okay.
Well, typically there's a little button back there.
Okay. I'm going to try to figure out how to get this little thing off of here.
Oh, yeah, you gotta take the case off.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
And you see above the
Do I
battery?
have to unscrew this?
No. Right above. Let's see. Right above the battery pack, like where you put the battery in at, you should see a little tiny little button. Down lower. You don't see anything?
Oh, okay, I see.
You see that? All right. So if you get like a paper clip and just press it down for a few seconds, that'll do a hard reset on your calculator, and then when you turn your calculator on, it should pull up list. Everything should go back to factory settings. And if that doesn't work, we can do a soft reboot. I sound nerdy already. So there's some buttons you can click, but the easiest one is to hit that little button.
It's back.
It's back? All right. So just keep a paper clip handy. You're good to go.
Oh, Lord.
You have any calculator questions while we're here?
Hey, I probably could find a million of them because I haven't really learned how to truly use this thing yet.
Okay.
Okay, and in one of the exercises, I was watching your video, but you were moving. I couldn't catch up with you because you were moving so fast. There was one screen you went to where you were showing how to find the mean, where you were calculating the mean without going through this list. I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Okay. We can do, like, there's a weighted mean question on the test that's a good review of calculator skills. We can look at that one.
Okay.
Kind of pull down here. Yeah, let's do that one. All right. So let me share my screen real quick. All right. So something like this. You can type in your calculator. So let me go back to. So I'm going to go to Stat Edit, pull up my list, and I've already got this typed in because that's the last one I worked earlier with Jessica. But so here we've got in Marissa's math class, she gets 15% for attendance, 15% for quizzes. Exams are 50, and the finals 20. So she wants to know what her average is in the class. So she got 100 on the attendance. So in list 1, I'm going to type in the grade she got for each category. And then in list 2, I'm going to type in the weight of each category, so the frequency that matters. So she got 100 for attendance, and it only counts as 15%, so I put a 0.15 in for list 2. Then she got an 89 for quiz average, and that only counts as 15, so she got 0.15 for it. Then she got 86 average for tests, that counts as 50, so that got 0.5. And then she got an 81, which counts as 20% for the final. So once I've got that typed in, I'm going to go to OneVar Stats. So arrow over to Calc, OneVar Stat it, and just if you're using list 2, you have to tell the calculator to go to list 2, otherwise it won't look. And then I just hit calculate from there, and so it will tell me what the mean and standard deviation is.
Okay.
And your calculator is your new best friend for this class. So if you see data, I would just go to list 1 and type it in somehow, some way, and then the calculator is going to tell me what I need to know. I just got to figure out which screen I'm supposed to go to. But most of the formulas in this first unit, so we go back to the formula chart. Like most of these, the population standard deviation, the sample standard, like the weighted mean, if you can type that into list 1 and list 2, you don't actually have to use these formulas. You can just get the calculator to spit it out for you and tell you what to do. But I give them to you. You're always welcome to use them.
Okay, yeah. Using those formulas take a page, sometimes 2 pages to answer.
Well, I mean, I'm supposed to teach you the formula and teach you how to use it. But honestly, you get a calculator, so I'm okay if you just type it in. You got enough to worry about.
Okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh, no problem. Trying to stop the screen there. All right. Anything else? Gonna open it up. I'm gonna scarily mute Deidre again. For future reference, y'all can turn your webcams off. You don't have to. Like I know Carolina's apparently in the dark, and you can just you can turn your webcam off. You don't have to point it at the floor. What? Anyways, that's fine. No, you're good. You're good. There we go, Jessica. See, she figured it out. Turn that webcam off. I don't know. You have I know Jessica's taken the practice test. Deidre and Carolina, I guess Deidre, you can give me a thumbs up. Have you tried the practice test yet? Yes. Okay. Okay. Because what I can do is I can just pull up. I can just look at it from my end and see if I see anything huge. Let me do that. Nope. I can hear somebody just type something. No, you have not. Okay, so Carolina, you didn't. Okay. Let me check Deidre's and see if I see any huge concept that's worth talking about. Let's see. Some vocab. Oh, well. 22. Okay. All right. So, like Deidre, the only thing that I see that would probably help you to talk about is how to recognize sampling methods. So the difference between stratified, cluster, systematic, convenience, and simple random. Yeah, let me pull that up. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of this. And then we'll look at it together. All right, bear with me a second. I saw one other one that was worth pulling up. Okay, yeah, we'll throw that on there. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna. These are the 2 questions that I saw that were, might be a level of concern. All right, so General Motors wants to administer a satisfaction survey to its current customers using their customer database. The company randomly selects 90 customers and asks them about their level of satisfaction in the company. What type of sampling would be used? Or what type of sampling was used? Okay. So we got, let's see, our vocab words would be cluster, stratified, simple random, convenience. And so looking at this, they went to their customer database and they just randomly picked people. So they really didn't sort them, like they didn't sort them by income, if they sorted by gender or income. So if they sorted them firsthand, that would be stratified. Cluster would mean they randomly picked a location and sampled everybody at that location. So maybe they randomly pick one store, one car place, and ask everybody at that car place what they thought of the General Motors cars. Would be clusters. So that's not what they did. Convenience would be like a restaurant leaving out a little survey. Did you like your service today? That would be a convenience sample. So in this case, they just randomly picked 90 people, so that would be a simple random sample. And then the second question, suppose a survey regarding sleeping habits of students is being conducted. From a list of registered students, a researcher obtains a simple random sample of 100 students. One survey question is, how much sleep do you get? This survey has bias. What type of bias? Okay, so if I ask someone, how much sleep do you get, there's a tendency to, I guess, no one wants to say, I got 3 hours of sleep last night. We all tend to exaggerate a little bit, just because in our minds we want to, not that we are afraid of the truth, but we sort of exaggerate currently what's going on. So that's what response bias would mean, that the person asking the question is influencing the type of answer they're getting. So typically, whoever's asking you, we're not going to fess up that we're being fully honest. So that's why the correct answer there was response bias. Non-response bias is when I refuse to answer. So if you ask a question and I just walk away and not even say anything because I choose that, that's non-response. And sampling bias is a made-up word that actually doesn't exist. So that's, the whole idea of bias in the sampling process is this type of bias. Anyways, what's possible remedy? Systematic random sample. So rewording the. Okay, so the problem is in asking how much sleep do you get, I'm sort of forcing people to fess up to something they might not want to admit. So if I reword the question a little differently, so maybe I ask, how many hours a day do you work? How many hours a day do you spend time with your family? How many hours a day do you play? What's left for sleep? So if I ask people more specific questions, then the fact that I want to know the sleep data sort of gets meshed in there, and I'm typically going to get a little bit better of a response. Using a systematic random sample means I'm going to pick like every 10th person, and picking every 10th person isn't going to fix the problem of the fact that people want to be a little dishonest. And the same thing with conduct face-to-face or telephone. The problem is if I ask you how much sleep do you get, you know what I want, and you're not going to necessarily fess up to that. So, anyways, hopefully that helped. I'm going to jump back here and see if a question showed up. Okay, I got a question. A student who's no longer here asks, is the Review on Tour YouTube page the same as the one on D2L? Part of me is like, Review on Tour? I'm not on tour. Anyways, I'm gonna, assuming I recorded this correctly, I'm gonna send it over to D2L, and then other students may watch this conversation in much excitement. So, anything else? So Deidre, I didn't see much else. For the most part, looks like you have a good handle on that. And I think Jessica, we talked about the calculator skills, so I think for the most part, I think you're pretty set on that. And then Carolina, you want to do the practice test before you take the test, so that you're aware of what you know and don't know. Anyways, can you ladies think of anything else that I can talk about? Deidre, I love the fact that you're on mute still. I can totally see you asking me something. Dude, keep shaking the head. That's fine. You're still on mute. There we go. How many times should you do the review? as many times as you feel comfortable with it. I'm not taking a grade on it. It's just there so that you know what's on the test and are not surprised. So I would say if you take it and you do well and you're happy with your score, go take the test. If you get your butt kicked, I might go look up some stuff. I might shoot me an email and then try to take the practice test again. But it's not it's not like you're going to get a 50 on the practice test and show up and get an 80. That's not quite how that works. But if you get like an 80 or 100 on the practice, then you should do similarly on the actual test. Anyways, hopefully that answered your question, Jessica.
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so since you're looking at the test, toward the end,
Uh-huh.
I don't know which number, because I know toward the end, man, it was some of those that had a lot of numbers to compute.
So like 27, 28.
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
I bombed those.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, 27's got a bunch. And I try to watch those. Like I try not to put too much on there. Let's see, I did let you guys use StatCrunch and Excel. Like I didn't limit the test too much. So maybe that might be a good resource. Now I think about it. Okay, so unfortunately, you would have to type in all those numbers in your calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And then your calculator will tell you what the quartiles are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I hit a number or something wrong. I don't. I must have hit a number or something wrong.
Well, let's see. 28 I'm looking at, and you got the 5-number summary right. Let me take a picture of that, and then we can look at that. Okay, bear with. Oh, not that one. Okay, let me throw this over somewhere that I can pull up some stuff. Okay, let me share this. Okay, so here was the last question of the set, and 5-number looks fine. Something about the box plot didn't go so hot. And then, obviously, if the box plot's not right, then you're not going to get the describing the shape question right. So I don't know. I mean, if you got the 5-number summary part right, well, let me see. Even from, okay. So I'd go to my list, and again, anytime I see data, I'm just going to go type it in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's take a second and do this. I think on my videos, I'm like, I didn't necessarily wanted you guys to see me zip through this, because this is not that exciting. Oh, he's typing in numbers. What's going to happen next? All right, almost there. Another 0.605. And this is about the time where my little emulator crashes on me. Okay, so I got my numbers typed in. And so I want to generate my 5-number summary. So I'll go over to Stat Calc and then just do one var stats. Now I only want it to look at list 1, so list 2 I'm going to type a frequency of 1. And I don't like this error. Okay, let's see. Oh, got it to do it. Okay. So if I... that's not good. Oh, goodness. What are you freaking out about? Alright. So one thing I don't like about this emulator is it let me get away with that. Really? Okay, so it doesn't like that either. I'll try one more time, and if this doesn't work, then I'll just have to abandon ship on it and just try the graph. Alright, clear. How about delete? Alright. No, let's hit delete. What is it going on? Okay, let me look at the graph then. Okay, so to get the box plot, which is also going to give me the 5-number summary, make sure the plot's turned on, and then I just make sure that the list 1 is highlighted, X list is list 1, and that I've got this little box plot icon with the little dot. Like I want, this will show outliers for me, the second one won't. So I want to make sure I do the one with the dot so that I can see the outliers. And then once I've got that typed in, then I just hit zoom stat. So zoom 9. And it should, let's see what's going on. It's freaking out on me here. Okay, so zoom 9, and it should give me a box plot. And so you can kind of see of your 3, you can see it, come on you. All right, so you can see from your 3 box plots, it's not the symmetric one, and it looks closer to this middle one here. And then, so that's that one, and then you can see there's skewness in the graph, like it's not symmetrically set up, so that's why it's skewed to the left. Skewed to the left refers to this piece right here. It's where the data is missing that we talk about the skewness. And then as far as the 5-number summary goes, I have this strange computer glitch, but I can also hit trace, and trace will highlight the 5 numbers for me. So here's my minimum, there's my Q1, there's my median, there's Q2, 3, and there's the max. So you can get your 5-number summary from the graph screen as well as going to one var stats.
Okay, I don't know how to do that.
Get the box plot to show up?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
You have your calculator in front of you?
Yes, I do.
You want to type your numbers in with me?
Sure.
All right. Why don't you take a second, just type it into list 1. And then I will hold your hand and show you how to type it in the calculator. And you don't have to get all of them in there. Just get a couple so that you have some sort of picture. So you're trying to figure out the calculator skill.
Okay.
All right, you got a couple numbers in there?
Oh, crud. Alright, nope, I messed it up, ladies. I'm sorry.
That's okay. You don't need them all in there now. Just as long as I'm just gonna walk you through how to get a box plot. So it's okay if it's not the right numbers, because you can come back later and type all the numbers in.
Okay.
Okay, you got
at least 3 or 4 numbers.
Yeah, we're good. All right, so go to second white.
Is it stat plot?
Yeah, go to stat plot.
Okay.
And do you see the word on anywhere on the screen?
No.
Okay, so your plots are off. So if you click 1, so click on that first plot, and you should see the word on blink.
No. My screen. No.
Do you see the word on and off?
I don't see the on or off. I just see I have like a little boxes coming down the screen in different colors, Y's, and then I got Y1 equal sign, Y2 equal sign, Y3, and follows. Across
Okay.
the top is plot 1, plot 2, plot 3.
Okay, so you're in the Y equals screen. You want to be in the stat plot screen.
Okay.
So hit second Y equals.
Okay. Ah, Eureka. There we go.
And you see what it says stat plots on the top?
Yes.
Okay, press the number 1.
Okay.
Okay, now do you see it say plot 1, plot 2, plot 3? It look like my screen?
Yes.
Okay, you see how it's blinking? Or it's got on and off?
Yes.
Highlight the word on. So like right now it says off. We want to highlight it so it says on. So click on the word on.
Okay.
And then arrow down to where it says type. And you're going to go to the side and keep going until you've got that first box plot that's highlighted that you can kind of see some little dots on.
Okay.
The ring one, you want the dot one.
Okay.
All right, hit enter on that one. And then scroll down. Under X list, what does yours say?
List L1.
Perfect. Don't change it. What about frequency? What does it say?
1.
Perfect. That's great. We're so far so good. Okay, so once it says all that, double check that the on is darkened. So does your on, is it darker than off? Okay. Hit zoom. And mine, zoom. Okay, if you hit zoom, does it say zoom box, zoom in, zoom out, zoom decimal?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to show you just so you can see this. There's a lot of different standard settings for zoom. We want zoom stat, which is typically number 9. So once you're on the zoom screen, if you press 9, you should get that picture to show up.
Error.
Go back to. Okay, I'm kind of worried about this one because you said you only typed in what 4 numbers.
I think about 4 or 5 maybe.
Okay, we're gonna go back to the stat edit real quick. Go back to your list. It's a 5-number summary, so if there's not 5 numbers in there, it's gonna freak out on you. So just add a couple numbers so you got 6 or 7 of them. But once you got enough numbers in there, just do the same thing. Hit zoom 9, and you should see a picture.
Yes.
You got a picture? Perfect. And then the nice thing is, if you hit trace,
okay,
it'll show you the minimum, and then you can arrow to the right, it'll show you Q1. You can arrow, and it'll show you the median. So you can arrow back and forth to get your 5-number summary.
Okay. Yes.
That work?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Now, will you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Next time you have a calculator issue, will you email me?
Sure.
And then you and I can sit down and kind of go through the calculator screen and see how to hit the buttons properly?
Okay.
Does that work?
That works.
Okay, because we're going to have some other calculator skills come up, and I don't want you to walk in the week of the test and be freaking out about how to get your calculator to agree with you. You own the calculator, not the calculator own you.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you. Yes, sir.
No problem. All right. Carolina sent me a message. How do you find class width on 13B? Which I think is a fabulous question. Let me close this one out. Let me go over to I'm just going to go to a different spot.
Okay.
All right, 13B. All right, where do you see class width? Was it down? I'm just not paying attention.
Oh, sorry, 11.
11. Okay. Well, that's asking frequency. This one?
No.
Not that one.
What you want? Let me check. Hold on.
I might just go pull up yours. Let me. All right, let's do this. Let me not share my screen for a second. All right, I'm just gonna go pull up your test, Carolina Ruby. Okay.
It was 13. It was 13.
It was 30. Well, again, it's kind of random, so.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's 13, letter B.
Where are you? Oh, you haven't submitted yours yet. Okay, hold on.
Oh.
All right. Unfortunately, I can't see it if you haven't submitted it. Don't submit it. Let me try one more time. Pull it up on mine because it's kind of random. I mean, I told the computer to pick between a couple of questions.
Okay.
So I just need to find the right 13. Oh, okay, class width. Okay, all right. I'm on board now. Quality TV you got going on in the background there. All right. My screen now being shared?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. Is this about what your question looks like?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go up here. All right. So, question: how many students were sampled? That's these numbers up top. The one, like in my case, I'll make that bigger. The 1, 4, 14, 50. That's your frequencies. So you want to add those together to figure out how many total students there were.
Mhm.
And then class width. So if you look at your picture, you're going from 60 to 70, and 70 to 80, and 80 to 90, 90 to 100. So how wide are these intervals? In your case, they're only 10 apart. Your class width would be 10.
Okay. So you just see how far they're apart.
Yeah, just take the two numbers and subtract. So 90 minus 80 is the same number as 100 minus 90 is the same number.
Oh, okay.
Pick any two numbers and subtract them and should give you
Yeah, you do whatever, like 90 minus 100 or 80 minus 100. Okay. Thank you then.
Is that it?
Yes, for right now. Thank you.
All right. Well, actually, Mr. Slay is going to turn into a pumpkin here in a second. So, unless you ladies got something last second-y, you all are welcome to email me the rest of the week, and I encourage, just like I asked Deidre, to email me if there's questions about the calculator. If you hit something that you don't know how to answer, Don't wait. Shoot me an email. I'm begging for stat questions. I love this stuff. So please take advantage. All right?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. All right. Well, in which case, I'm gonna watch Deidre try to figure out how to wave on her mic. All right. So y'all have a lovely night, and if you need any more help, please get me involved. I'm gonna try to do this every test. So every test week, I'll set aside an hour like this where y'all can just jump on and ask me random stuff. Again, if something comes up in the middle of the week, email me and we'll set something up. Okay?
The small one.
All right. Y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go ahead and put this down the
Bye.
Bye bye.